Hey guys, back to another YouTube video. Today it's going to be a collections video. Now today, the one that got the most votes was my camp knives. So now I'm going to do a video of all my camp knives I've collected. And then I'll show off what all the next collection video y'all can vote for. So anyway, guess I'll grab one at a time. First is one of the ones I got from JR's bundle. This is a Utica Cutlery camp knife with all metal handles, brass liners. I think this one's probably from the 80s, 1980. Still has the original bail, and I completely cleaned it up, gave it all new polish, and cleaned up the tools on the inside. And again, camp knives are just one of the knives that I just like to collect because there's so many of them. Next, a lot of people probably already have one of these. This is a Cub Scout. This is a Cub Scout Camillus knife. This particular one was made in, I think, 2002, if I remember right. And these are actually very collectible. There's actually several different companies that made this particular knife. Camillus was one of them, Imperial, and a bunch of other companies have made this particular knife, and I've got a bunch of them right here. So this is one of the ones my dad got me. Might as well, since we're talking about it. This is an Eagle Scout Ulster camp knife. The Eagle Scouts, aka Boy Scouts as well. This particular one is made by Ulster. And these are actually very collectible, in great shape, but this one isn't exactly in the best of shape. This one I'm still in the process of cleaning up. I just haven't had the time to clean it up yet. And the reason why it's called Eagle Scouts is because it's got the eagle emblem right on the handle. So that's another one. Next, might as well. Next is a Girl Scout pocket knife, a Girl Scout camp knife. Let's see, I think this one's made by, this one's made by Cutmaster. This one is near mint condition, still has the original bail on it. And, I mean, if you collect the Boy Scouts, you gotta have the Girl Scout knife. Love the green handles. And this one's actually very collectible as well. Next, this is a Cub Scout. This one, this one is made by Imperial. I think this is one of the ones I got out of JR's bundle that I cleaned up and kept for myself. Next is a Camp King made by Hammer Brand. As y'all know, I love to collect Hammer Brand knives, and there's actually 3 of these. Let me get them out real quick. Yep, that's one of them. Where's the other one? Yep, it's all them. I've actually got 3 Hammer Brand camp knives, each one slightly different than the other. This is the small one, this is the big one, and then this is the other one I have. And the reason why I keep all 3 of these is because the one thing I like about them is each one is slightly different, but they're all dated the same year, 1945, the end of World War II. And this one, I think if I remember right, my dad got this for me. And I've completely cleaned it up since then, and this one's in one of my favorites in my collection. Next is this Hammer Brand. I think this is one of the ones I got out of JR's bundle that I kept. And this Hammer Brand, I think, came in a lot that my dad got. Yeah, because it's been re-put together. And someone actually put a Utica blade in it. Ain't that funny? So that's another reason I keep it, because it's unusual, and I like unusual stuff. Next, what's this one? Next, this is a very, very old Imperial camp knife. This one's from the 1920s. In great shape. I still have to clean it up, but I just haven't had time to do it yet. Next is a Diamond Edge camp knife, which is basically the same company as Imperial. Again, I haven't had time to clean this one up yet because I've been busy. But definitely one of my favorites because it's got these lovely handles. And I replaced the bail because it didn't have a bail when I got it. This is one of the ones out of JR's bundle that I kept. Next is an unusual camp knife. This is a 3-blade camp knife that I completely cleaned up. So, like, here's one blade, Here's the other blade, and here's the other blade. Very unusual. You don't see these too often. This particular one is made by Colonial. In great condition. I completely restored it all by hand and repolished it. So that's one of my favorite camp knives in my collection. Again, this came out of JR's bundle. Next, this is my very first camp knife. The very first one I ever purchased. This is my Camillus, property of U.S. government. And those who may remember from my older videos, this was one of my first camp knives I restored. And I've long since used it as well. I used it and used it for things that it shouldn't have been used for. And I carried this for a long time. It was one of my first high-quality knives. And it's still very sharp. And this particular one I restored a long time ago. I put handles on it and restored it all by hand. Definitely one of my favorites. Still has a good snap to it. I might as well get this one out. This is the exact same Camillus knife. Get it back out of the bag. That I restored. And I actually bought these from the same flea market. Ain't that a funny coincidence? I bought these from the same flea market. And this one I actually put black micarta handles on to kind of give it the original look. And it came out very well. So this was kind of an anniversary thing. I saw the same knife and bought it because it was an anniversary of almost a couple of years after I had restored this knife. So I figured with all the new tools I had at my disposal, I figured I could restore this one, make it look a lot better. So that's one of my favorites, camp knives. Next, this is this is another Eagle Scout knife. This one is made by Imperial. This one I cleaned up. This came out of JR's bundle as well. And it has all plastic handles, which you don't see that often. And I replaced the bell because it didn't have one. Very sharp, and it took me a while to restore this by hand and try to keep the Eagle emblem. These are actually not that expensive. These on eBay go for only $15, but I don't have one, so I figured I could keep that one. Let's see. This is another Camp King made by... this is another Camp King made by Imperial. These are actually very common, but I keep one. I'm trying to collect one of every camp knife that's been made. And I still got a long ways to go. This one I restored as well. I completely repolished it, got it all nice and clean, and replaced the bail. Because that's the most common problem with camp knives, is the bail's always missing, but luckily I always have those to replace them with. Next, this is a Forest Master made by Colonial. They came with a whole bunch of different names by these. They had one that's called the Camp King, one that's called Forest Master. Forest Master, and this is one that I've restored as well. Definitely, once again, one of my favorites. Give me. Next is a Japanese camp knife. Still has the bail, and it's one of the ones I kept out of JR's bundle. That's not the blade. There we are. There's the blade. Definitely one of my unusuals. Next is, this one I bought at a flea market a while back. This is another Colonial that doesn't have a bail, didn't come with one. Very unusual, and I have used this knife here and there because it's a good little beater knife. I think I paid like $2 for it a long time ago. Let's see. Next is this Colonial that I bought at a gun show with my dad, as y'all may remember in that video. Bought this a long time ago with my dad at a gun show. And it has the Hawkbill blade and the regular blade. Definitely one of my favorites. And I put that bail on because it didn't have one when I originally got it. Next, this is a mint condition Colonial. I've not done anything to this. My father actually found this for me. And this one actually says Western Pennsylvania Ducks Unlimited. Mint condition. Definitely one of my favorite knives. Next, what is this one? Next, this is another old Camillus I haven't been able to get to yet. It's got a hole right through the blade. Very unusual stamp, and I also collect different stamps for ones that I don't have in my collection. So hopefully I'll get to that one soon. Next is this, what was this again? This is a Kent Cutlery scout knife. Let me rephrase that. Scout knife and camp knife are the same thing. But this is the one that my friend at the flea market gave to me that I completely restored, put the original shield back on it, and completely restored it, and put a new bail on it. Definitely one of my favorites because it was given to me by an old friend. Next, this is another one my father bought me. This is a Super Camp King, where it's got more multi-tools than the regular camp knife. This one's made by Imperial. Still very collectible with the original red handles. Definitely one of my favorites because it was given to me by my dad. Next is, this is another Colonial knife camp knife I have. This is a Colonial Foon and Spork knife. Bought this off a guy off Facebook because I always liked having these knives. I actually use one of these here and there. And this is a Chinese version that was given to me by my friend. Has the spoon and the folding spork, and then the regular blade. Next, I saved the best for last, my military camp knives. This is one made by Imperial that I fixed up, put a brand new spring in it. Now you can't even tell that the spring's been replaced. Sorry about the lighting, I can't really fix that. Next is, this is a Schrade camp knife issued by the U.S. military. Next is a Western USA camp knife issued by the military. I think this one's the Queen's knife. Yep, this is a Queen's Cutlery U.S. military camp knife. And if you want to go into detail about these, you have to go to my previous video that I did showing the difference between each one of these. Problem is, this one doesn't like to close right. There we are. Next is, this is a Camillus that I bought in a lot for $20. This is my one of my very first military knives. Definitely one of my favorites. Last but not least, this one is a Ulster camp military knife made by Ulster. So Ulster also contracted with the military. Alright, that's all my camp knives. I guess I'll show off the items for the next collections video. I guess let me know if you want me to do a video on my gun collection, or my electrician's knife collection, or my Barlow knife collection, or my brand new knives collection. These are all knives that I keep brand new in the box. So let me know which ones you want me to do a collections video of next. And last but not least, I'll show off a new item that my father bought me. He bought me a Remington belt buckle with the belt. And it's going to look great in my collection. Thank you very much, Dad. So let me know which one you want me to do a collections video of next. Where's Dad? And as always, stay sharp.